All right, guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Jonathan. This is Austin, and we're Fan and Fix. Happy Mario Day, guys. It's here, March 10th, Mario Day 2025. Today, we're
Woohoo.
just going to do a little bit of celebrating our favorite plumber by talking about our top 5 Mario games of all time. Spanning all the systems, any type of game, we're going to do our top 5, period. So let's get right into it. Austin starts off with number 5.
Yeah, my number 5 is Mario 64. Now, this was a pretty hard list for me to create, and you and I talked about this before, but Mario 64 is an iconic piece of Mario game. It's the first 3D Mario game. Nintendo 64 was a juggernaut for a Nintendo back then. Just going from Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64, like the graphics and everything was just so much better. And there was a lot of nostalgia, a lot of excitement as a kid for that system. And Mario 64 was the coolest thing to run around Mushroom Kingdom in a 3D world, go through the castle, find all these hidden doors. Felt like the game was never ending. And it had great music. The levels were a lot more innovative than something that came before with the 2D side scroll. And the thing I remember the most is every time you fall into that Bowser pit and go through that door, you end up in that big like circle, and you can grab Bowser by the tail and throw
Oh,
him
yeah.
around. And I actually never beat that game as a kid. I beat it when I got older, and but
Yeah.
I iconically remember just every time playing that game, I would end up somehow getting back to Bowser, and I'd have to throw him around with his tail, and I never actually knew where to go in the game. And then you get older, and you're like, oh, this game's actually not that difficult to figure out, but as a kid,
Yeah.
it was expansive. It was exciting. It was new, a little bit scary at times in some of those levels. And like I said, the music, I can still hear it in my brain, jumping through those paintings, and it go, and it's just exciting. It was cool. So it has to be in my top 5.
Yeah, absolutely iconic. A lot of great memories playing that game. I can't fault you there at all. That's one of the classics that set the stage for all the future 3D Mario. So
Yeah.
wonderful game. Okay, for me, number 5, I'm going to go to Mario's tried and true Mario Kart series. I'm going to take Mario Kart Wii. So this one I played for many, many hours on the Wii with the wheel,
So
the
good.
Wiimote inside the wheel and steering. This is the one that introduced the bikes. You could wheelie by flipping the wheel up,
Oh
and
yeah.
you go a little faster. Man, I remember grinding those time trials trying to beat all the Nintendo employee ghosts.
Yeah.
And man, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I played this game to death on the Wii, and still like to boot it up every now and again and give it some run throughs. One of the best, a great roster. They had a lot of great characters. You could use your Mii, which I often did,
Yeah.
and there's just a lot of great things about this game, and it's got to go at number 5 for me.
Yeah, it's such a good one. I mean, it's so hard to pick sometimes with those Mario Kart games too, but just I think with the wheel and the motion capture of that just made it so good. So I mean, we played that a lot, so I,
Yeah.
I, I get it. Well, my number 4 is Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Mm.
Now, this game originally released on GameCube, and back in this past year in 2024, it did have a remaster and a re-release on the Switch. Um, Fantastic game. You and I both got this on the Switch when it
Oh
came
yeah.
out as the remaster, and we played through it. And constantly was talking about it back and forth. And I actually never played it on the GameCube, and I tried multiple times to get this for GameCube. And this game is going for tons of money in these retro game shops to try to get the original copy of this. But I'm so glad that I finally played it. And so for that reason, and the just the gameplay in this game, the storytelling is some of the richest storytelling I've seen in a Mario game. The art style is so great. It's better than any of the other Paper Mario games that I've played. I mean, Origami King was great, but Thousand Year Door was so good. And that ending, you and I talked about how dark it got with like Peach getting possessed. I
Dude,
was like, holy
seriously.
crap! Like Mario's like throwing for the fences right here. But it's so fun. I mean, I love the RPG style, and I think just the wittiness of the dialogue is really what made it for me, especially with the companions. So for that reason, Thousand Year Door is my number 4.
Yeah, again, that almost made my list. The like you said, the companions, the partners in that game, top notch. The battling was super fun. A lot of memorable parts of that game, and I'm really glad we get to play it on Switch last year. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4 for me is a 3D Mario, but it's going to be Super Mario Galaxy. An
Mm.
amazing game. Played on the Wii. So fun. I know they remaster or not remaster, but put it in that Super Mario 3D All Stars collection on the Switch as well.
Yeah.
Played it again when it was on Switch. also really fun. Using the original pointer and the Wiimote, just a great game. The Galaxy like gravity mechanics with the planets and stuff was a really unique way to have Mario move about. But with his little spin, like movement never seemed like an issue. Camera was clean. Introduced Rosalina, which has been a staple in all the games since then. So yeah, just a lot of fun. It followed it up with a sequel, Mario Galaxy 2, which is also really fun. So Galaxy was tons of fun to play through, to enjoy. Each level kind of had its own, unique twist on it. And yeah, that's a game that I wouldn't mind playing again every couple of years. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, that's so good. I love Galaxy as well, and I almost put it in my list, but it's really hard with all these Mario games. They just have so many different mechanics and unique spins each time they release a game. So yeah, understandable. My number 3 is taking us back to Mario Kart, and Mario Kart Double Dash is my third one. I can't say enough about this game. I'm serious. Like Mario Kart Double Dash, I love every Mario Kart game. Mario 64, obviously, there was so many fond memories with birthday parties and getting together with your friends. But Double Dash has a special place in my heart. And I don't know if it's just because I love the GameCube so much, but that whole thing with just like having two people in your cart, switching the items, throwing back and forth, they like just like I still can literally hear like the music boot up on that menu. And it just the maps had some iconic maps that are still in Mario games today. I mean, Mario Kart Deluxe 8 like brought back a lot of those GameCube maps. There's just so many good ones. I mean, Daisy's Cruiser is the one that really speaks out to me that I played all the time on Double Dash. And I think Double Dash was the first time we really started getting some of these broader characters in the franchise too, as your kart racers. So yeah, because of that, it's a lot of it's just like nostalgia and remembering and playing this. It's probably the Mario Kart game I played the most, and so for that, number 3.
Yeah. Again, great game. That's probably the thing that Mario Kart fans are most upset about is that we haven't seen that mechanic of the two drivers switching since then, and that is something desperately they need to bring back because that would make everyone go crazy.
Yeah, it's so good.
Cool. My number 3 is going to be a new edition, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This game was fantastic. They kind of renovated the 2D Mario on Switch, just released a couple years ago, and man, did they crush it. Like a different art style. They added some more liveliness to the characters. They added in some crazy power-ups. They made Mario and friends become an elephant, which is actually, it's an OP power-up. I mean, it's really great.
Best.
They had a bubble power-up. The drill power-up was really good. And the levels are just really fun. I don't know if I love just sometimes booting up the game to play that second level again where the Piranha Plants sing that song. Dude, it's one of my favorite things. Yeah, the music is really good. It's tried and true with a 2D Mario with secret exits in certain levels and stuff like that. The final world is very difficult, and so it really ramps up the levels there. So I just have nothing really bad to say about Wonder, and it makes it number 3 on my list.
Yeah, that's a great game. That's honestly some of the best art style I've seen in a Mario game in at least a long time. They did a really good job. So kudos to them for reinvigorating the 2D side scroll Mario. Mm-hmm. So my number 2 is going to be Super Mario World from the Super Nintendo. Now, this game, in my opinion, I didn't put it in number 1 for the reasons I'll get to. But I mean, honestly, when I think of Mario, I legitimately think of Super Mario World. Because the game I probably played the most was Super Mario World. The visuals I have for classic Mario is Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Like just I speak about the music all the time in these Mario games, but like legitimately, like the music on those maps, when you're looking and you're choosing, you can go to the different, like the music is iconic. And I just remember vividly as a kid just booting up that system. Super Nintendo is an incredible. I'm so sad that I don't have that system anymore. My cousin freaking broke my system, and I lost I don't know where all the games went. Like I'm pissed about it because all those games I had are you can get for crazy amounts of money nowadays. But Super Mario World, getting to ride Yoshi was awesome.
Oh man.
Just all the different like colors of Yoshis that like hatched and you find them and that kind of thing. The different worlds going from like Yoshi's little island type thing into the caves, and then and then like the first time we really got to see like those like Boo castles and like the haunted aspect of that was so good. And I love how you end the levels with like the big, gates, and you have to like get to the thing that's moving up and down, and
Yeah,
then it hits, and it goes, "Brr," and it's like, "Ba, ba, ba,
the
ba,
sound
ba,
is
ba, ba,
amazing,
ba, ba." Like
man.
it's so good, and there's so many secrets in that game to get you to
Yeah,
certain places. Like you could literally in like World 1, you could get to the end of the game if you found the right secret, which is wild. And I never do that until I was an adult, but it's cool. And so like I love the progression of that game. I love the different worlds that really set the stage for 2D Mario moving forward. And I just don't think anything has been able to beat it ever since. I mean, yeah, Wonder reinvigorated the system a little bit, but Super Mario World will always remain. I love the cape, getting to fly with Yoshi with the cape. I don't know. I could literally name so many things. I could go on forever. We could do a whole video on Super Mario World. But
yeah,
number 2, I'm gushing over it, but that's my number 2.
yeah, yeah. So fair. That game is definitely the gold standard for many people in 2D Mario, myself included. I have some very, very fond memories as a young kid playing Super Mario World and just being enamored with, yeah, like the world map that you get to choose a level from, the different secrets and like all the curiosities that you had as a kid, trying to figure out like I think it was like the switches that you get at some point in the
Oh
world
yeah.
where like, oh, the blocks aren't there, but you have to find the switch. Like
Yeah.
just not knowing what I'm doing, but having so much fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That game's incredible. My number 2 is going to be kind of a weird game. It's a port from the Wii U with an addition. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. What can I say about this game, guys? Super Mario 3D World is an incredible experience. You can play 4 players. The levels are incredible. It's got a good mixture between 3D and 2D. In my opinion, it's more 2D than 3D because the levels are so linear. But you have a lot more freedom. The cat power up is actually pretty goated. I'm not gonna lie. And if you play this with friends, especially, you just have a blast. Like collecting the green stars, collecting the stamps, and then in this version, especially, they ramped up the gameplay a little bit and gave all the characters their like powers that they kind of have.
Mm-hmm.
So Toad's faster, can't jump as high. Mario's kind of average. Peach has some floatiness, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a super fun playthrough. Really good levels. Again, don't get me started on Champions Road, Austin. We've talked about that before.
Hate that.
But super fun experience. But then you add in Bowser's Fury, and guys, that game blew my mind. That was so incredible. I can't wait to see what they're going to do next with like building off of that. But that was an amazing experience. I mean, if that game was longer, it may be number 1. But Bowser's Fury, takes 5-6 hours to beat or whatever. So it's not like a full-fledged out game. But what an incredible experience to play through. Such like an open world for Mario to explore, to ride around Plessy. Just man, that was so fun collecting those cat shines and running through and fighting Fury Bowser. I mean, that was really amazing experience. So number 2 on my list.
Yeah, great game. Bowser's Fury really took the 3D model and expanded it into this open world, and I'm really excited to see if we get more of that moving forward, especially with Switch 2. And yeah, don't get me started with Champions Road. We're totally doing a video where we're gonna try to freaking beat that level
Let us know in the
together.
comments. Let us know in the comments if you want to watch Austin and I try to beat Champions Road together. Spoiler alert: we have hundreds and hundreds of lives lost on that level.
At least like 8 hours into this stupid thing. Oh, it's so annoying. Yeah, but I don't blame you. Great game. So, well, we are finally at number 1, and this may provide some controversy because apparently people hate this game or don't like this game. But my number 1 is Super Mario Sunshine. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm still on vacation at the Isle of Delfino. That place is legit. And in my opinion, has a lot of replayability, has iconic locations. It honestly switched up the whole style of Mario. I mean, you get away from the Mushroom Kingdom, I think, for the first time in the franchise. I could be wrong. Somebody test me there. But you go to the Isle of Delfino, you go to this resort. It's you and Peach and Toad and Grandpa Toad or whatever his name is. And you end up with Bowser and Bowser Jr. I mean, first time you really get to see that iconic duo. You're going to these different islands, the amusement park. There's like these secret undergrounds that you're finding with the people on the island. And yeah, I don't know. I can't say enough about this game. I mean, with the Ink Mario, wow, this is my favorite game. I don't even
Shadow
know
Mario.
Shadow Mario, thank you. Favorite game, and I don't even know the stinking name. But yeah, Shadow Mario was such like an eerie thing as a kid. I remember that game came out. I was like, what the crap is going on here? And then obviously you find out it's Bowser Jr. But like there's so much about that game where you're chasing him down and the different puzzles and that kind of thing. I mean, I remember the amusement park when you're like on the roller coaster and you're trying to shoot rockets at
Yes,
the villain.
dude,
That
that's
was so
incredible.
cool. And then there's that one where there's the big wigglers moving around, and if you
Yes,
get hit by him, you fly up in the air, and you're trying to get that stinking watermelon to like the bridge
yep.
without getting hit by the wigglers. I don't know. There's just so many like really like fun little like puzzles and like difficulties there that just made that game so fun to me. I probably played that game more than any Mario game that I've ever owned. So Super Mario Sunshine, people, hate it
Yeah,
or take it or leave it.
dude, I'll be honest. I didn't play that game until I was an adult on the Switch on the 3D All Stars, and I was fully expecting to be like not enjoy it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like once I got into the game, I really loved all the unique levels, especially
Yeah,
the ones where you lose FLUDD and it's just platforming.
yeah.
That's a lot of fun too. So yeah, Sunshine's a fantastic game, one of my favorites as well. And number one for me, guys, you may already know if you've seen some of our previous videos, but my number one is Super Mario Bros. Odyssey
Shocker.
on the Switch. This game it had it all for me. It had so many throwbacks to the previous games, gave me so much nostalgia. The best movement of any Mario game by far. Cappy allows you to do so much. Like you can move well, the camera's flawless, and then the capture system is just nothing like we've ever seen before. You know, like some of my favorite captures are the Pokio from Bowser's Kingdom. You get to capture Cheeps and swim underwater. Like it's incredible. The way they played that game out was just amazing. The kingdoms were really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really disappointed that we didn't get like a sequel, an Odyssey 2 on the Switch. But with the way they're going to 3D Mario, I'm sure whatever they got cooking is going to be amazing. But that game just, again, I can watch people play that game. I can play that game, and I will never get tired of it. I've seen speed runs. I've seen people play through it casually. First time playthroughs are always fun to watch of people, and I just have so much joy when I play that game. And not to mention they have actual songs with lyrics in that
Yeah.
game. So there's so much to say about it. I could talk about it for a long time, but Super Mario Odyssey is my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, New Donk City, baby. That place is legit.
Fantastic. Well, that's our list, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody has their own opinions and they like to talk about what we should have changed in our list. But please let us know what your top 5 Mario games of all time is down in the comments. We look forward to seeing those. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. And again, happy Mario Day. Thanks for coming here to get your fandom fix. We'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.